Hi everyone, I'm Lizzie from lizzieshouseofcards.blogspot.co.uk, and today I'm going to show you a little video on how to make this cutie. Now, it's all done with origami. I'm not entirely sure if it really has a name, but I like to call it the little fortune cookie because it kind of does look like one, doesn't it? I've got a little candle in this one, as you can see there. But if you put something that's a little smaller in the bottom, these do actually close right up. So you could use it like a fortune cookie and pop a little note in there for somebody. It'd be a beautiful little trinket box, or even a jewellery box if you wanted to give something a little bit special. You know, like when you go to some of these jewellers and you have to buy the boxes. Well, this would be a wonderful way of giving it without having to buy one of those boxes, and it's handmade, extra special. So all you're going to need for the basic little box here is one piece of 6x6 designer paper. You can use anything you like, but I'm going to use Modern Medley today. And you're going to need your bone folder. And this is quite simple. There's no gluing, no cutting, just basic origami. So what you want is the pattern that you want on the outside. You want to put that face down, okay? Right, the first thing we're going to do is fold it exactly in half, diagonally, like so, and score. And then we're going to do it again, the opposite way, and again, exactly diagonally, and score. Okay, we are then going to fold up to the centre point, if you need to, because some pattern papers you can't really see where you've done your crease, so just fold it up again, like that. So fold it up to the centre point, making sure your point lines up with your crease there. And then you want to go take the bottom up to the centre again. It doesn't matter if your pointy bit's sticking up a bit there, that's not a huge problem. Again, use that as your guideline. Line it up, there we go, and score. And then we're going to turn it round and do exactly the same. So up to the centre point, up to the centre fold even, there we go, and one more time. There we go. And then if you open it out, but leave those two there because they're going to be your markers, what you want to do is fold diagonally like this, so that this point here is level with this point here. Okay, you see the point just there? And then you want to score just from here downwards, so from this second score line here outwards. Okay, now we're going to do that with a quarter turn each time. So again, lining it up, and just from that score line there, okay? Quarter turn, line them up, from your score line out, and the final quarter turn, line it up with your point and your score line out, okay? Once you've done that, you can pop over your little flaps there, and we're going to fold this half up to that half mark there where your diamond's folded up, your triangle, sorry, is folded up. And again on the other side. These are rather cute to make. They are actually very, very easy. I've made quite a lot, which I shall show you shortly. Fold it in half so that it looks a bit like the start of a paper aeroplane, really. Now you see this line that you have here that you've already done, just you're sort of softening it, giving it a bit of room for movement. Okay, this is the only really tricky bit. At this point, you want to fold it down like that. Just make sure that you can use your grid paper if you like to line it up. Make sure that your crease falls down the middle like that. Okay, and the same on the other side. So fold it over, and make sure your crease lines up down the middle. Oop, that doesn't look too central to me. Designer paper is perfect for this because it's exactly the right thickness. There we go. Okay, now what we do is we kind of open it out a little, and if you see just there, See how that folds nice and neatly there? We're now going to fold that flap over so that it's really nice and neat. Oop, there, like that. Okay, and again on the other side, fold it over just there. And then what we're going to do is bring the two edges together like so. Yep, and then we can just have a little play inside just to make sure it's all puffed out in the right places. And then what we do is pinch these sides together like that. Okay, so now you can see that it does rather look like a little sealed fortune cookie. Quite cute. Right, now what you need is a little mini hole punch. I have an old one here that I admit it's not Stampin' Up. However, rumour has it we might be getting these back, which will be nice. So you want to punch just kind of in between the halfway mark and the edge. So you're going to do one there and then again on the other side there. Okay, if you're strong enough you might be able to punch through both sides together. Once you've folded it up, I can't, I'm not strong enough. So you fold it up and join them up again like that, and then if you just line your holes up, sorry if I keep going a little out of picture here, I'm sort of watching what I'm doing crafting wise, I'm watching through the camera, and punch again. Oop, I lost my line up there, there we go, and again punch. Okay, so now you've got your little, you can pop a sweet in there, your little pocket, your little fortune cookie. You could pop a sweet in there, you could pop a nice chocolate and a little message, all sorts really. Okay, so I'm going to tie it with some very vanilla seam binding. Of course, you can use absolutely anything you like to tie this together. I do find the thicker ribbons are easier. I have done them with baker's twine, but they're a little bit trickier to tie together. Just because the baker's twine doesn't hold it until you've tied it, that's all. But it is possible. So thread that through your holes. And then tie your very beautiful bow, which I shall attempt to do now on camera, which I'm sure you'll find extremely entertaining because I'm not the best bow maker in the world. There we go. Now you can make these any size you like as long as your paper is square, and that is basically the only rule. Your paper has to be square. There we go. I haven't tried them any smaller than this. It'd be interesting to know if it works. I have tried them bigger and I will show you one in a moment. Okay, so I've got my ribbon tied. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? I've done worse. And then with my wonderful super sharp paper snips, I'm going to trim my ribbon so that it looks neat. Okay. Right, and now just for the little bit of embellishment. I have a piece of basic black cardstock and the petite curly label punch. So we need one of those. I then have a piece of very vanilla cardstock, which I'm going to stamp my sentiment from Teeny Tiny Sentiments onto. Here we are. And some basic black ink. Stamp that on. Now, if you notice, I've done a really, really little tag there for my Just For You. And I've done it with the word window. And this is how you do it. Basically, you want to trim one edge quite close to the end of the word like that. Okay? So punch it for the first time like that. And then what you need to do is, if you feed it through, sorry, wrong end. Oops, pop it back out again. If you feed it through your punch like that, and just pop it up through the punch like that. You might want to use a pair of tweezers at this point, just because it'll be easier for you to see what you're doing. So if you hold that up there like that and just line that up where you want it to punch, and then punch again, and there you have a teeny tiny sentiment on a teeny tiny word window. Okay, so what we're going to do is quite simply stick this across the middle of my elegant curly label punch, like that. And then we're going to pop another little bit of glue, or you could use a dimensional if you like, to give it a little dimension. I'm going to use a little bit more glue on the back. Attach that onto the front of your little packet. And then finish with a tiny wee little bit of bling. And for that I need my basic rhinestones. Oh dear, having a time with them today. And just pop it on there, like that. And there you have it. A really, really cute little gift box. Like I said, you can actually do it in lots of different sizes as long as your paper is square. This was the first one I made, and it is huge. This was actually made with a piece of 12 by 12 designer paper. As you can see, even though it's twice the size of the paper, it's well more than twice the size of the package, isn't it, really? It's, as I say, it's not embellished or anything. This was just the prototype, if you like, that I made. I can't claim credit for this. This is an old origami technique, so I can't claim credit for the design, sadly, but I do rather quite like the way they come out. I think they're very cute. I have also done them in with a few different designer papers. Here we are, and these have got little sweets in. These are actually what I'm giving away as my swaps at Telford this weekend, which I'm there doing some training with lots of other Stampin' Up demonstrators. As you can see, use lots of different styles of designer paper, and you can even do it that's not too girly with some of your more manly designer papers. Oops, that one fell over. Each of these have got a toffee and a sherbet lemon in. As you can see, the small patterns work quite well because they give a really nice overall effect, you know, quite balanced. However, I have done it with a really big pattern. Let me find it. This one here. If you can see, that's the etc. paper, I think, if I remember rightly. And that's a really quite a big pattern, but it still works really well, I think. And I've also done it in gingham, one of my favourites, and in the high tide paper too. So you can do it in lots of different papers. It really doesn't matter how big your pattern is. It just seems to work. So I hope you enjoy having a go at making these, and I'd really love to see it if you do make some. And please do visit my blog for more inspiration at lizzieshouseofcards.blogspot.co.uk. Have a fabulous weekend, and I hope to see you soon.